The power of decision. Everything starts with a decision. A real one. Not the kind you make when you're emotional. Not the kind you post online. Not the kind you abandon after 3 difficult days. A real decision changes your identity. When you truly decide, there is no backup plan emotionally. You stop asking, "Can I do this?" and start asking, "How will I do this?" That's the difference. Weak desire creates hesitation. Strong decision creates action. Look at the people who transformed their lives. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders. Every one of them had a moment where they got tired of their own excuses. A moment where average became unacceptable. A moment where pain became necessary. Because the truth is, your life changes the moment staying the same becomes more painful than changing. That's when people finally move. Not when conditions are perfect. Not when motivation appears. When the discomfort of mediocrity becomes unbearable. And once you decide, you must protect that decision with your life. Because the world will test it immediately. People will doubt you. Your mind will doubt you. Results won't come quickly. And that's where most people quit. Not because they can't win, but because they expected the journey to feel good. It won't. Not at first.
Discipline is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is a system. And if your dreams depend on how you feel every day, you are already losing. Because there will be mornings when you don't feel like working. Days when you feel tired, confused, burned out, uninspired. But discipline says, do it anyway. That is the separating line between winners and everyone else. Average people act based on feelings. Elite people act based on commitment. Read that again. Because discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent when it's inconvenient. Anybody can work hard when they're motivated. Anybody can chase goals when things are exciting. But can you continue when nobody claps for you? Can you continue when there are no results yet? Can you continue when your effort feels invisible? That's the real test. And understand this. Success is usually boring before it becomes exciting. It's repetition, routine, sacrifice, doing the same things correctly over and over again until the results finally appear. Most people quit in the silent phase, the phase where nothing seems to happen. But that phase is building you. Every early morning, every disciplined action, every moment you refuse to quit, you are becoming someone stronger, not just someone successful.
Hard work is non-negotiable. There is no shortcut, no hack, no secret formula, no magic strategy. Hard work is still the price. And the people who try to escape the price usually end up paying with regret. Everybody wants the reward. Few people want the process. Everybody wants the spotlight. Few people can survive the darkness before it. The truth is brutal. If you want extraordinary results, you must become comfortable doing extraordinary work. That means sacrifice, late nights, early mornings, lonely seasons, missing parties, being misunderstood, being doubted, and still continuing. Because greatness requires obsession, not balance all the time, not convenience, obsession. The athlete trains while others sleep. The entrepreneur works while others waste time. The focused individual says no to temporary pleasure for permanent transformation. That's the difference. And yes, hard work is painful, but regret is worse. Imagine being 80 years old, looking back at your life, knowing you could have become more, but chose comfort instead. That pain lasts forever. Temporary struggle does not.
Hunger. You need hunger. Not interest. Not curiosity. Hunger. The kind of hunger that keeps you moving when everything becomes difficult. Because goals are not achieved by people who casually want success. They are achieved by people who need change. People who are tired of average. People who refuse to stay where they are. Hunger changes your standards. Hungry people stop wasting time. Hungry people stop making excuses. Hungry people stop waiting for permission. They attack life differently. And hunger is powerful because it creates endurance. When you are truly hungry, pain becomes part of the process. Failure becomes feedback. Setbacks become fuel. You stop seeing obstacles as reasons to quit. You see them as proof that the journey is real. Because every meaningful goal demands transformation. And transformation is uncomfortable. You cannot become stronger while protecting your comfort zone. Impossible. Growth requires pressure. That's why weak people avoid hard things. And strong people become stronger through them.
Failure, pain, and keeping going. There will be failure. A lot of it. You will lose sometimes. You will doubt yourself. You will work hard and still not see immediate results. And this is where many dreams die. Not from lack of potential, from lack of endurance. People underestimate how long success can take. They think effort should produce instant rewards. But life doesn't work that way. Sometimes you plant seeds for years before anything grows. Sometimes your hardest work happens underground, unseen, unrecognized, unappreciated. But that doesn't mean it's useless. The strongest people in the world are not the people who never failed. They are the people who kept going after failure. Again, and again, and again. Resilience is a superpower. Because eventually, time exposes who was serious and who was pretending. Temporary motivation disappears. Ego disappears. Excuses disappear. But disciplined persistence, that survives. And eventually, it wins.
Becoming the person who deserves the goal. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Your goal is not the most important thing. Who you become while chasing it is. Because success without growth is empty. The process is shaping you, teaching you patience, focus, strength, discipline, self-respect. And one day, you realize the journey created someone unrecognizable, someone stronger, someone sharper, someone dangerous in the best possible way. That's why the struggle matters. Not because suffering is glamorous, but because pressure creates capacity. You develop standards. You stop tolerating weakness in yourself. You learn how powerful consistency really is. And eventually, you no longer need motivation, because discipline became your identity. At that point, winning becomes inevitable. Not easy, but inevitable.
So, if you want something, decide. Not emotionally. Completely. Burn the excuses. Accept the difficulty. Embrace the discipline. Work harder than your feelings. Stay hungry when others become comfortable. Keep moving when others stop. And understand this clearly. The life you want exists on the other side of consistency. Not luck, not talent alone. Consistency. The people you admire are not superhuman. They simply refuse to quit long enough for their effort to compound. That's it. And you can do the same. But nobody can want it for you. Nobody can discipline you forever. Nobody can carry your dream. At some point, it becomes your responsibility, your sacrifice, your fight. So ask yourself, how badly do you really want it? Because if the answer is truly everything, then stop talking